bravefathers.com.
Welcome to the Brave Fathers Show. And now, the prophecy.
Yes, we are here again. We are here again. Thank you for joining me. How do you expose a female narcissist? That's what we are looking into today. My throat is hurting a bit because I've been ill for the past 4 days. It's been quite a rough time. I think it's 4 or 5 days or so. I've been in bed most of it because I couldn't function. I was out. But I'm here now. So let's start the show. Ew. Let's start the show. Are we all set? Are we all set? All right. So, my name is John Paul from bravefathers.com. I help you get through family courts, help you get through issues, and help you resolve things so you can have a better life for yourself and your children. I'm here for the brave fathers who choose to face the humiliation, the difficulty, the discrimination of family courts against fathers. And yes, a lot of people want to pretend that it's not true, but it is true. It's a very hard experience. So I respect every father who says, you know what, regardless of what everybody else says and thinks about me, I'm going to keep fighting for my children. And it is true that the courts, as a system, take advantage of that. And narcissistic mothers, toxic wives, abusive mothers, horrible girlfriends take advantage of this situation too. And we live in a society where, as a male, you are not supposedly allowed to criticize female actions. However, we must criticize those who do wrong, whether they are male, female, or any other of the 97. I believe it's 103 genders now. The last time I checked was 97, but if there are more, please correct me. So regardless of which gender you are, if you are wrong, we must criticize you. But today, we are not here to criticize per se. We are here to teach you how to expose a female narcissist. Why is this important? As we mentioned in part one of this series, and if you've not seen it, go back and watch part one. The female narcissist takes advantage of the societal predisposition to support the female against you. So she will use the state against you in court, in your community. She will damage your reputation, knowing people have sympathy for her. The same applies to destroying your name on social media. So at some point, you might want to expose her. And we'll go into some principles today. We're going to 10 principles. Because if you don't know these principles and you don't apply them, you're going to get stuck in a rut. You will keep reacting to the narcissist, which is what she wants. You'll keep giving up when you shouldn't give up. And you'll keep giving her energy that fuels her hurting you and hurting your children and just destroying your life. But the first principle is actually going to be very counterintuitive. And most of the principles here are very counterintuitive. Because when you deal with a narcissist, you're not dealing with a regular person. You're not dealing with a human being who thinks like anybody else. A narcissist wants your energy. And it does not matter if that energy is positive or negative. So, whereas a regular person might stop themselves from doing something because they feel guilt or shame, a narcissist has no such mechanism. So, if you try to shame a narcissist or guilt a narcissist, you just get a negative reaction. You get a destructive reaction. You're not going to stop them. You're going to make it worse. And in fact, they like it. They need that negative energy. And they'll take the positive energy too, as you probably did when you were in the beginning stages of your relationship. So, narcissists are not the same as any other kind of human being we have on earth. You cannot deal with them the same. Again, this applies to males, females, and all the other 97 if not more, genders that we have. So here's the thing. If you're able to walk away, walk away. Now, this is the first principle I want to talk about today, and I spoke about it last time as well. But the reason why you want to walk away is fighting with a narcissist is not worth it. You're better off walking away if there's nothing tying you to the narcissist. So if you have kids, I'm not including that in the situation, but I'm saying in general. If you stay fighting, you're giving energy to the narcissist, especially if you don't know how to do it properly. But narcissists are such that if there's nothing tying you to them, they will know that you're just tied to their energy. And your desire to expose them, your desire to show the world who they are, your desire to get some kind of retribution for what they did to you, that is one of their hooks. And sometimes they may even give you an illusion of an apology or pretend that they are sorry, pretend that they want to make up for what they did, pretend that they've realized they are wrong and they want to change. All those are games because you have that desire for justice that from childhood you may have been raised by schools, by your parents, by society, by movies, by the books you read, that there is some kind of justice system that will protect you. And you want that justice to kick in when an injustice has been done to you. But there's no justice for victims. There isn't. You have to rise above the victim status. You have to rise above the pain that has happened to you. And that's where eventually the narcissist will get exposed. But but sometimes, and I know you don't want to hear this, but sometimes it's best for another person to go through the emotions than you. Because there's only one reason I consider valid when it comes to fighting with a narcissist, which is your children. Other than that, walk away. Even if they take everything you ever made, your money, your business, let them take it. I'm not saying just give it up, but if it turns out that they take it, all right, let it go. This experience, excuse me, told you I was ill. This experience will awaken something in you that will make you more productive, more powerful, more focused than you've ever been in your life. The experience with the narcissist is a wake-up call. It's to show you how strong you are. And once you've woken up, you can safely walk away. And the only reason to stay, again, is if you're trying to get your children. And that is not to stay with the narcissist. I'm talking about staying in the fight. Excuse me. I'm talking about staying with the fight. Because female narcissists, they'll create so much chaos. They'll create so much havoc in your life that it's just not worth anything else. Okay? So the first principle is you have to walk away. The second principle is, and we have 9 more to go. So the second principle is you have to heal your triggers. The narcissist uses one thing which gives the illusion of her having power over you, which is she knows your triggers. She knows how to trigger you. She has studied you. She has understood every weakness, every pain point, every desire of yours. She knows those intimately, sometimes even better than you do. Which is why often people fall for the narcissist thinking they found the soulmate. Because she'll pretend to be the perfect woman for you, knowing exactly what you're looking for. And she'll play along and she'll play the role, she'll play the character. So because of that, you now start forming the illusion, right? But what happens is when she withdraws that attention, when she withdraws that love or the illusion of love and care for you, you then go into withdrawals. And now you're so vulnerable, she can trigger you, she can say things to you that will just blow your mind, that will just make you angry, make you explode. And then guess what? You appear to be the bad guy. You appear to be the narcissist. Have you ever been in a situation where she did something wrong to you that was horrible, but by the end of the conversation, you are the one apologizing and begging her for forgiveness? And the reason you end up in that situation is she will twist things around, she will trigger you, she will disorient you. So before you realize, you forgot about the original thing you started talking about. And now she's hitting on your pain points, on things that she knows would hurt you. Let's say you consider yourself to be a protector, for example. And she would say, "Oh, the other day we went out and this guy, pushed me in and you didn't say anything." And you're like, "No, I told him no." She's like, "Yeah, but you were not this." And then you're apologizing, you are explaining yourself, right? But that's only because it's a trigger for you. You feel extremely sensitive about being a protector. But when you realize that, wait a minute, I did the right thing, I did what I had to do, and that was it, and she's unappreciative, now she has no power, and she'll probably explode herself when she realizes you don't get triggered. Because that's one of the important elements of exposing the female narcissist. You have to take away the power she has by not allowing her to trigger you. When she can trigger you, she has power. And until you resolve those things, resolve that trauma, you would think she's more powerful than she is. And again, because she can use the state against you, right? By falsely accusing you, by lying, smearing your reputation, excuse me, it gives that illusion that she's indeed that strong, but she's not. She's leveraging other people's emotions, other people's triggers against you. By herself, once you wake up from the illusion, she can do nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. So the more you work on healing your triggers, the less power she will have over you and the easier it will be to expose her when it's time to expose her. Now, this is not an intellectual exercise. So it's not a thing where you just say, okay, she triggers me when she says I'm stupid, right? Like I used to have a trigger when she called me a prick. It used to really trigger me until it didn't. Until it didn't. I started laughing. I was like, why do I care about her calling me a prick? Let her call me whatever she wants, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe I am a prick. But it used to really, really get to me because I was not used to anybody calling me that when I was in that stage. So hear your triggers, which means allow yourself to process the pain that you've experienced throughout your life, because that's what the narcissist feeds off. Because 90% of the work is starving the narcissist of energy. If everybody who feeds to the narcissist energy were to step away from her, should be powerless. But that's why she's always hunting for a new victim, a new prey. That's why they can never stay faithful, because they need constant supply, constant supply from different people. Man, see how much I love you? I'm still not feeling well. I'm still unwell, but I said to myself, I've got to do this to help you out, because I was supposed to do this last night. Apologies for not doing it, but it's the illness. Let me just have some of my tea quickly, and then we carry on. All right, so one second. All right, so the next thing is very, very important, because a lot of guys get this wrong, and that's where they fuck up. That's where they end up getting police called on them, sleeping over night in a cell, right? Having the accusations, the false accusation looks substantiated, and they just mess up their situation and they screw up the whole thing, right? So the next thing is, don't let the female narcissist know that you know. Don't let the female narcissist know that you know that she's a narcissist. Don't let her know. Because the moment you let her know, and a lot of guys are naive about this, she knows the game is up. Now she can double down on hurting you. Now she can discard you, knowing you're going to crawl right back to her because you have not yet healed your triggers. That's why we mentioned that first. And then what she will do is she'll cause a situation on the spot. She will create such a horrible situation that you end up most likely having either leave the house or police called on you. Or if you call the police, you may end up in a situation. And many men have found themselves in those situations. Many men have found themselves in those situations. And again, a female abuser will have the protection of the society. Right? I'll do a separate video on female abusers that the society supports till today. In fact, let me write that down. And if I don't do it, write to me and remind me. Female abusers supported by society and why I consider them abusers. Right? Because that's the way things are. It doesn't mean you can't get justice, but you have to be ready and have to do the right thing. But if you tell her you know, then now she can put things in place to protect herself. She's going to double down on smearing your reputation. She's going to try to get rid of you as quickly as possible so that you cannot document her behavior. She's going to attack you even more strongly. She's going to push all your triggers for you to do something wrong so that it appears that you are the narcissist, that you are the abuser. You may lash out, right? Maybe she hurt you and you lash out. Maybe you act in self-defense, and now you are the one who looks bad. And I've known many fathers who have gone through this. Listen to my interview with Father X. Like, I'm not saying his ex was a narcissist, right? I've just said that. But listen to the situation that led him to court. And he's a great guy to help you as well if you are representing yourself in court. Father X. Look him up. But that's just one example of somebody who came out of it, who put in the work and came out of it. And that's why I was very glad when I met him, because I realized we had the same experience. So the same way you are learning, these things work if you apply them. But you have to understand that to overcome and overpower the female narcissist, you can't think the same way you would with any regular human being. This is like your ninja level psychology that you have to work with, right? Jedi level, right? Like a ninja or a Jedi. You really have to have like a next level of your own psychology. You have to evolve. You can't be a regular average Joe and win with a narcissist. And when I say average Joe, what I mean is you can't be just a guy who wants to be passive. You just want to get by in life. You just want your peace of mind. You can't do that. You're at war. You're being attacked. Somebody's trying to destroy you, your life, and your children's lives. So you can't just be the regular guy. That's what she is counting on. When she chose you, she realized, wait a minute, this guy wants me to love him. This guy wants me to take care of him, and so on and so forth. Let me play the perfect woman to him, which was all an illusion. She took advantage of that. So you have to transcend that. You know, a lot of people hate players, right? And I have to say this. There's a reason why players or so-called players, I'm talking about true players for real, not people who lie to women, who people actually know how to attract women with honesty. There's a reason why they dump women. And a lot of those women have negative traits. A lot of those women are narcissistic. So those females cannot keep a man. They can't keep a man. So those guys won't stay with her. So she'll look for the nice guy who will. So if you were or have been that nice guy, like I was, hand up, 2 hands up, I was that guy, then you have to change that. So being so nice as to tell her, oh, I know you're a narcissist. Please change. She's not going to change. That's what makes her a narcissist. She can't change to be a better person. If she could, she wouldn't be a narcissist. She would just be a horrible person. If the female narcissist could change, she wouldn't be a narcissist. She would just be a horrible person. But she can't change. She can't see her own mistakes and accept them and change them. So you have to transcend, otherwise you'll never expose her. Otherwise you can never win against her. Now, Principle number 4, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more to go. So number 4 now. So we're going up to 10. You want to expose her behavior. The biggest mistake you could make is to start telling people she's a narcissist. It's similar to the previous point. You don't let her know, you don't say to anybody she's a narcissist. Anybody that she can hear from, because then you're fucked. Because narcissist is such a vague term and is used wrongly in our society. A lot of people call others narcissists that are not narcissists. Somebody who is self-indulgent or self-indulgent, that is not a narcissist. That is just a person who is selfish or self-indulgent. A narcissist is a personality disorder. It's a disorder. It is not just a character flaw or a negative trait. So if you try to go to court or elsewhere or anywhere else and say, oh, she's a narcissist, nobody's going to believe you. Nobody's going to take you seriously. So you will lose on the spot, right? So it's like chess. You learn the moves so that you don't lose the game on the spot. What do you do instead? Expose the behavior. That she hit, that she bite, that she swear at you, that she beat the children, that she scream at the children. What does she do that is wrong? That's what you have to expose. That's what you have to fight with. Not just, oh, she's a narcissist. That means nothing. And I understand how it feels at the beginning when you start realizing what's going on. You want vindication. You want people to sympathize with you. You want people to understand you. I get that. Because again, 2 hands up, I've been there. But that is not the way. You'll find that a lot of people probably don't want to even listen to you, right? Which makes it painful. You'll find that a lot of people don't believe you, period. And then you find that others are in support of the female narcissist. That's why, again, I have to do the video on famous female abusers that the society still supports, but they actually are abusers. But if you can show specific behaviors, right? So for example, if she hits you, call the police. Go outside, call the police. Calm yourself down, call the police. I can tell you one thing that's for sure. People say you get arrested. I've had police called, and on me as well. Never once did they arrest me. And I will say this much. The mistake I made is I didn't press charges on her when I should have, because I was still in the naive state. If I could go back in time, it would be different. So people will tell you not to press charges, and I've heard people's stories being told, press charges. You see, you're not fighting with somebody who will hold back. No matter how low you think you can go, she can go lower. You cannot go lower than the narcissist. You can't. Because at some point, your guilty conscience or your shame will kick in. Again, the narcissist has no such mechanism. So if you can press charges, because a lot of times what narcissists will do is when they get taken to custody, they fight with the cops. They attack the police officers. They scream, they lie, they create the trouble for themselves because they are not used to being held accountable. So there you go. You have exposed that if you actually call the cops. Don't call in the middle of the fight. Get out, calm down, relax, state the behavior that happened, and tell the police what happened. And then press the fucking charges. Get that documented. If she gets put in front of the court, great. That's your win, right? So you have to focus on the behavior. And then here's another note, which I realized when I've been going through this process, and it hurts me to think about this, but I'm like, the system is so unfair and so unjust to fathers and to me as a father. But I said, but when it was time for me to be fair to myself, when it was time for me to say to the police what was going on, or in court to expose the truth, I didn't. I didn't press charges on more than one occasion. One time I remember the cops were like over and over, please, like, not please, but they were like, do you want to press charge? Do you want to press? They kept asking me. They just wanted to take her. But I was like, oh no, it's fine now. You see? So I didn't carry out justice, or I didn't implement the justice that was available to me. So I realized that it's a deep psychological thing that runs through the society. Because if I'm not willing to do it for myself, why do I expect the society to do it for me? If I'm here begging the narcissist to take me back after being hurt so many times, why do I expect the society to treat me any different? Now I understand the society gives room to females, and it is not fair and it is not right. We're not going to change that today. What we can do today is to get the best for ourselves, right? So make sure you focus on exposing behavior. Now, the next important point in exposing the female narcissist is going no contact. You probably have heard of this. One second. You have probably heard of going no contact, right? So all this means is you cut all contact. If you have to communicate about the children, you use a parenting app, and no arguments, no discussions, no nothing. If there's a proposal to be put forward, here is my proposal. Bullet points, boring as fuck. No accusations, no allegations, no reminders of how she hurt you, nothing. It has to be devoid of any emotions, because again, that's what she feeds on. They are like gremlins. The more you feed them, the crazier they go. Like you don't feed them any emotion. 5 o'clock tomorrow, I'm picking up the kids at the playground, or in front of the playground, so wherever you've agreed. That's it. Oh, yeah, bastard. Okay, ignore it. You can show it later in court. But do not think that no contact means you just step away for a bit and then you go back to her. Because a lot of guys get this wrong. When they go no contact and the female narcissist starts being nice to them, they think they've won. And a lot of pickup artists and red pill advice gives this kind of advice, not understanding that female narcissists, don't function like normal human beings. So when she's coming back to you, she's not coming back because she's missed you or she wants you. She's coming back to you because she wants to punish you. But she can't let you know that she's coming back to punish you. And if you've been there, you know what it's like when you take her back. So no contact also means you have to cut off a lot of people in your life. And probably a lot of people have cut themselves off anyway because they believe the narcissist over you. Have lost people that I've known for decades. I've lost family because they believe the narcissist over me. So the good part is you know who is on your side through thick and thin and who is not. Then you know who is with you and who is not with you. You see me? So, but no contact also means don't go complaining to people about what she did. Find a way to support yourself. You can contact me if you want some coaching on this. You can also contact me if you need coaching going through the family courts and need your emotional strength rebuilt. Or find a support group in your area, a therapist, somebody you can trust, but the person has to be outside of your family, outside of your social circles. And even if you have somebody, it has to be only one person if it's somebody you know. But ideally, you cut it down. It's painful, but that pain is also what helps you to heal your triggers that we spoke about earlier on. If you learn how to process it yourself, you find a place. Look, when I went no contact, right, I had very little resources financially, little money. But I found the perfect place. One day I'll talk about it because it's a very interesting place that when I think back about where I was. But it was a crazy place full of all kinds of characters, all kinds of shady characters, all kinds of. I mean, when you watch a movie about junkies and all those things, like that kind of place. But it was perfect because I could act out crazy I could scream, I could weep, I could cry my eyes out to let out all the pain and the anguish and the emotion, and I would fit right in. I wouldn't be surprised if half the guys in the building were like recovering from narcissistic abuse. There was all kinds of crazy people there, men, women, crazy. But that was the right place for me to be, to heal. It was like I went to the dark depths of my soul. It was a nasty place. It's funny when I think about it now, but the police were there all the time, all kinds of crazy shit, all the fucking time. But I could cry, I could scream, I could shout, I could just let out the anger and the pain. I could talk to myself out loud, and I'll just be another one. Perfect. So you may want to, if you don't have your own spot or you don't have a spot where you can do that, find a hotel, find a forest. You have to let it out. Because the last thing you want is for the narcissist to be able to trigger that. So that's why you go no contact as well. Because what you're doing is you're giving yourself space to heal the trauma, to let it go. And be aware that a lot of the trauma existed before you met the narcissist. The narcissists know how to spot trauma that you cannot see. A lot of people say, no, I was doing well, I had a great job. Da, da, da. Yeah, but you're still living a passive life. You're still not living up to your full potential because your trauma was holding you back. And that's why a lot of people who overcome this become so much stronger, so much more powerful after the traumatic experience. Like Johnny Depp, I really hope that motherfucker gets back in there, create some movies, create some art that we've never seen before. I really hope that for him, and he can do it. That's the beauty of the internet. That's the beauty of the internet. So by going no contact, you're giving yourself that space. Cut yourself off from the old life. Stop your bad habits. I stopped smoking. I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day. 20, the 20, the big 20 packs. I can't remember the ones I smoked. There were these ones that you push out and then you press and then it's a mint. So I'll smoke it halfway and I'll press the mint thing. I don't know what they are called now because it's been that long. Forgive me, my nose is running because I've been ill, like I said at the beginning. So you want to be able to just cut her off so she can't read your mind. Because at some point, she's not going to know what triggers you. Do you see what I'm saying? She's not going to know how to hook into you. And then you're starving her of the supply of energy that she needs from you. So going no contact is like one of your strongest weapons. Because again, she has other people that she's relying on. But if 2 or 3 go no contact, she's screwed. And that's where they act out and somebody will call the cops on her. She will get into trouble. It's a matter of time. But your ability to expose your ability to expose the narcissist is directly proportional to your ability to heal your trauma. That is just the hard reality of it. I think there's a spiritual level to this, which I don't want to get into. You don't have to think about that. But on the traumatic emotional level, the slightest trigger will make you look crazy. And she knows how to do that because she studied you. She studied you. Number 6, document everything that's relevant. This is difficult because sometimes writing things down or documenting things is traumatizing in and of itself. Now, I have to admit another mistake that I made that I hope you don't make, which is I had documentation, messages and everything, and I deleted it because stupidly I was so naive to think things would change. And I thought, I don't want to keep these negative things in my life. But that's what would have saved me from from not having evidence when I needed it. I still got evidence later, but it wasn't the same level because by the time I got the new evidence, she already knew what was going on. She already knew that I caught on to her. So she started playing different kinds of maneuvers. So you have to document everything, recordings, add little recordings too, videos, notes, just document it, dates, times, have it there. And that will also help you to see, that will also help you to see what's happening to you. Because a lot of us get still blind and think we can somehow change it. We don't realize how deep it goes. But when you read it back to yourself and tell yourself, okay, it's not me. Imagine it was happening to somebody else. You realize how crazy it is. And of course, if you go to court, you will need evidence. So the better you are organized with your evidence, the more you can show the patterns, the more likely you are to win. And remember, what we said in number 4, you want to expose the behavior. How can you expose the behavior if you don't have documentation, if you don't have evidence, if you don't have proof? So that's how you expose the narcissist. Document everything that's relevant. That's your solid evidence of what's going on, because she's going to lie, she's going to gaslight you, she's going to play with your mind, she's going to deceive others. But the good thing about her is she's going to lie. She's going to lie. So you can catch her in the lies by documenting things. That's why they hate cross-examinations. And I've found that some courts will say cross-examinations are not necessary. And I believe they do it because they know the female narcissist will reveal herself and they want to protect her because she's female. Because that destroys the narrative that males are the abusers. So they don't want to expose a female narcissist. They don't want to expose a female narcissist. So this is very, very, very important. Okay? Document everything. So I already mentioned number 7, which is don't keep talking to people about it. Like I said, get somebody that you can trust who understands this, because a person who has not gone through it doesn't understand. As you know already, people may even think you are crazy. They may think you are making things up. They may think you are lying. They may think you are the abuser trying to make her look bad, because she has a very good public persona, a very good public face. So you don't want to fall prey to that. The more you talk about it to people, the more you are re-traumatizing yourself. You're not really healing. All healing actually happens in loneliness. Well, not loneliness, by yourself. Let's put it that way. You have to be by yourself when nobody can see you. Look at every great athlete in the world. No matter how much they practice with a coach, no matter how much they practice with their mates, with their teams, they always have time where they practice by themselves. Why? Because that's where greatness comes about. By yourself. It's you and your God. That's it. That's what man does. That's what the man does. That's what a man does. That's why if you read about the tribes or even in the special forces and so forth, at some point you have to go on your own on a mission by yourself, or even if it's a training mission, you have to do it by yourself. You have to survive on your own. You have to learn how to regulate your own emotions, because that's one of your biggest advantages over the female narcissist, because she can't regulate her emotions. She needs you to act out for her to look sane. So when you talk to people about it too much, or at some point at all, you're taking away from yourself the ability to heal from what she did to you and from the trauma that you experienced before you met her. You have to look at your childhood. You have to look at your own life by yourself. Even if you have a therapist, you still have to find time by yourself. I recommend at least 4 hours where your telephone is off. You're in a hotel room or wherever you are by yourself, when nobody knows you or when nobody can see you. Excuse me. And you deal with the pain. You face it on your own. And it feels excruciating. It feels like you want to end it. But that's how you protect yourself from ending it. Because you walk to that edge, you trust yourself and say, okay, I'm going to walk myself back. Because you know that pain cannot get you. And it's difficult. Look, It's difficult. It's probably the most difficult thing you've done in your life, but it's necessary. So don't talk to people. Find your own way to heal. Which brings us to number 8. 1 second. I need some water, some tea, actually. Yum, 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 yum. Yes. So number 8 is you want to starve the narc, starve her from energy. How do you starve her? You refocus your mind from her, what she did to you, and frankly, even from your children, onto yourself. You accept that your reality is going to be painful for a while, but you also accept that there's going to be joy beyond whatever you've experienced before. After my experience, I've had things that I used to dream of. I'm not going to talk about everything today, but I've had some really good experiences that I had never had before. Felt better than I'd ever had, and just loved myself more. And that's the good thing that comes out of it, because, excuse me, there is good that can come out of it and must come out of it. So when you starve the narc, for example, in court, so I don't know about where you are, but where I am, you can have a panel that separates you from the narc. I always request one so she can never see me, right? And all my clients and all the people that I work with and other people that I know request that as well. So you cannot see each other. So when you cannot see each other, she cannot get energy from you. She cannot feed off your energy. She cannot see your reactions. And she needs it. She needs the attention to be on her. She needs the attention to be on her. By not, like I said before, when you don't talk about her to people, you are starving her from that energy. Your mind is no more focused on her. No contact is the same thing. You're starving her from energy. Don't react. When you write to her, again, cold facts. 5 o'clock tomorrow at the playground. Boom. That's it. I will not make it to Friday's meeting. Boom. But always make it to see your children. Always, right? So no excuses there. I'm just using this as an example. Keep it emotionless. You starve her, she has to get supply from somewhere else. But then whatever attack she has on you, she then loses, because now she's expended energy and she can't get it back. She will react to it. She will show her true colors. She will show herself. You won't have to do it for her. Right? So anything that trying to get back with her, trying to convince her to get back with you, even studying narcissists too much is a waste of time. Because it's like trying to study a crocodile to figure out how it will roll over on its belly and give you a cuddle. It's not going to happen. So anything that connects you to her, let it go. If you have to burn things or put them in the trash, do that. Right? You have to starve her, because as long as she can't get a reaction from you or can't get energy from you, she cannot function. Because remember, narcissists cannot generate their own energy. They create that illusion in the minds of the victims. But if you step back and listen, you realize how many people stay away from her, how many people don't like her, how people don't want to communicate with her. Yes, there are some people she still controls, but there's a lot of people she can't control, can't have in her surroundings, who can't stand her. So you have to be one of those people who starve her from that energy. Number 9, find time for yourself. And this is this is this is the key to rebuilding your life. This is the key to getting stronger. This is the key to becoming more powerful. You have to find time for yourself, right? So whether it is, you may want to go to the gym, that's time for yourself. Whatever passion you have in your life, chances are you have neglected it, which is also one thing that opened the door for the narcissist to come in, because you had something that you were focusing on that was her, rather than on yourself and your passion. So you have to figure out what you really want to do. It doesn't matter if you're 50, you're 20, 70, 90 years old, whatever it is you've wanted to do in your life that you've procrastinated, that you thought you couldn't do, that you were, dabbling in, but you love, that you care about. You have to take steps to do that, because that's how you're going to generate force and passion that will allow you to go against the narcissist in court and any other way you have to go against her. You need to generate your energy. You need to show yourself that you love yourself. You have to prove yourself that the traumatic experience you went through, the abuse that you went through with the narcissist, you have to prove to yourself that you can rise above it. You have to prove to yourself that you love yourself more than she hates you. You have to prove to yourself that you are worth more than anybody else has said about you in your life. People wrongly believe that self-esteem comes from society. And no, it does not. It's self-esteem. You have to build it by doing things for yourself. Like when I'm talking to you now, I love it. I'm passionate about it. I care about it. So by helping you, I'm helping myself because I care. You have to find the thing you care about. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we could all be doing something else, but we are here for a reason. So first of all, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you watching me. I really appreciate you being part of this show. I really do. It means a lot, because that's how we win. Because a lot of men, we don't get together to build things that we should. That is where our power lies. The society has fooled us into thinking we are powerless, but we are not. We are not. And it's when we support each other, that's how we move forward. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And I hope you keep coming back. And let me know what you need from me so I can create that for you. And also find time for yourself. Like now, you find time for yourself to learn this stuff, to figure out how to deal with the female narcissist, right? But if you love to exercise, you want to lose weight, do that. If you want to write a novel or a story, do that. If you want to start a new business, do that. If you want to be a fashion designer, maybe you like boxing, whatever it is you want to do it. Stop giving yourself the excuse of you can't. Because I'll tell you why. When she had an argument with you that lasted 2 hours, because we all did it, right? I'm sure I've had an argument that lasted like 6 hours. I'm certain of that, if not even longer. Actually, because I've had several experiences like that on different scales, right? But that time could have been spent on doing what you love. So use the time that you have used to fight with her and argue with her to do something for yourself. It's gonna be difficult because you may not be used to it. You may feel like procrastinating. You may feel like just sleeping or doing nothing. But find it in you. Find it in you to rise, focus on yourself, and find that time. Don't just dabble in it. If you want to play the guitar, the drums, make films, make movies. Maybe you want to sculpt. Maybe you like welding. Maybe you like chess. Whatever the fuck it is you love or you want to do, find that. Because again, it's counterintuitive. But the more positive energy you have around yourself, right, the more people see the contrast between you and her. Because now you start coming across as this guy is actually cool, pleasant, attractive, confident, relaxed, and she's always bitching. I was surprised to see, because I used to worship the female narcissist. I was surprised to see that people couldn't stand being around her. And she always used to say, like, nobody wanted to be around me. Right? So find that time for yourself, because you will need it. There will be times when you'll be hit. It's like a boxing match. No matter what, you get punched a few times. And some of the punches will hurt. And sometimes you fall to the canvas. You can't avoid it. Battling with narcissists is not pleasant in family courts and otherwise. Right? So you need something that brings you positive things into your life and brings good people into your life and builds up your life. So we are here at number 10, which is the last thing when it comes to exposing the female narcissist. So before I get to number 10, let me quickly walk through what we did already. So if you joined late, this is for your benefit. So if you can walk away, walk away. The only one good reason to stay is children. If you have $1 billion business, lose half of it, lose most of it if you have to, because she will eat your soul. It is not worth it. It is not worth it. If you can walk away, cut it loose. That is number one. Number two, heal your triggers. So whatever trauma you have that she knows about probably better than you do, heal that so that you cannot be triggered anymore, because those are her main weapons against you. She'll trigger how you feel so that you explode, you act angry, you act in a way that makes you look crazy, it makes you look like the abusive guy, right? Number three, don't let her know, don't let the narcissist know that she is a narcissist. Don't let the narc know she's a narc. Don't let her know, because the moment you know, she'll adjust her strategy, she'll discard you quicker, and she'll start putting things in place to make you look like a bad guy. She's not going to change, okay? So you say, oh, I know you're a narcissist. That's not gonna change her. She doesn't give a fuck. So she doesn't care. She does not care. So if you want to expose her, don't let her know that you know, because she'll just cover up even more. Number four, you expose behavior. You're not trying to say she's a narcissist to the court or to the police or to anybody else. You say specific things that she did. Yesterday I came home from work, I placed my laptop on the table, and then she threw it out the window because I didn't bring her flowers, or whatever crazy thing that she did. Right? You document that. And a lot of it will sound bizarre, but narcissists do bizarre things. So you have to document the specific behaviors so I can show the pattern and have the evidence for it. If you say she's a narcissist, it means nothing. You have to go no contact. That's number 5, which means no arguments anymore. When you're not in the same house, if you have to communicate about the children, use the parenting app, and strictly logistics. Again, tomorrow, Saturday, 3 o'clock, I'll be at the pickup point to get the children. Let's say the school playground to pick up the children. That's it. Always make sure it's in a public place, wear a body cam if you have to, or make sure there's cameras around. But whatever you do, always, always, always keep it purely logistical and devoid of any emotions, because that's what she feeds off. Number 6, document everything that's relevant. Keep documentation, don't keep it in your memory. Write it down and let it go. Write it down, let it go. Write the time, write the date, what happened, where you were, how it affected you, what you did after, if you can do that, and so forth. It's painful, it's difficult, it's traumatizing, but it's unfortunately part of this sad, sad situation. So document it because you need evidence. If you have recordings, keep them, and so on and so forth. Don't keep talking to people about it. Number 7, that's because many won't believe you. Many will just feel you're bringing about negative energy. Many will think, you know what, you deserve it, because not everybody around you is your friend or loves you as you may think. And that's another positive thing. The narcissist exposes a lot of who is really on your side, who really cares about you, and who really loves you. But don't keep talking about it. And also, when you talk to people, some of them will feed that information back to her, as I found out. Some people will feed that information back to her. You never know who you can trust. So don't keep talking to people about the narcissist. Let that negative energy go. You want to starve the narc. That's number 8. Again, when you go no contact, you're starving the narc. When you communicate, keep it cold. When you go to court, if you can get the panel that separates you so she can't see you, get that. Stop her from any energy, because she needs your energy to function. She needs other people's energy to function. That is their weakness. So anything you, even one look like that, just one look is enough for her to feel re-energized, because like, oh, I can affect this motherfucker. I can affect him. So you really have to starve her from all energy. Number 9, find time for yourself. Whatever you love to do in your life, find time to do it. Love yourself enough to do it. Okay? Show yourself that you care about it. Show yourself that you are worth more than what she did to you. Show yourself that you love yourself more than she hates you. And then you'll be a good example to your children. Because now you'll be more powerful, you'll be stronger, you'll be full of energy, and you have a life that you never had before. You start attracting the right kind of people to yourself. And you can only do that if you make time for yourself, dedicated time where nobody can mess with that time. If at 5 o'clock it's your, let's say, just for the sake of example, it's your time to play chess, then that's your time. If at 6 o'clock is your time to write your novel, that's your time. If you're going to study some crypto idea or whatever, or business idea at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10, you scheduled it. Nobody can fuck with that time. Treat it as sacred. Don't allow anybody to interfere with that. That's how you show yourself respect, and that's how you respect yourself. So that's number 9. So before we get to number 10, if you're going through any of this and you need help, you can find me through my X account, Brave Fathers, or go to bravefathers.com. And what I can help you is find your way out of the abusive situation, help you to unclog your mind. If you're representing yourself and you need clarity, you need to find a good strategy on how to win, I can help you with that as well. So get in touch with me right away. I'll give you an hour long, a full hour consultation, complimentary, no obligation on your part. As I said, completely free. If you choose to be my client afterwards, great. If we don't, hey, I'll get the pleasure of meeting you. You have the pleasure of meeting me. And I'll definitely help you with something during that hour. So you will have at least one more thing to help you win in your fight for your children. So go to bravefathers.com to reach me, or go to my account on X at Brave Fathers, and let's take it from there. So let's look at number 10. And this is the most important part of it. I've spilled ink on myself. Number 10 is the most important one, which is let the narcissist expose herself. That's the secret. That's the secret. That's the most important thing to do. Let the narcissist expose herself. I want an applause for that. Yes. Why do you need to let her expose herself? Nothing you say will be as powerful as when the narcissist goes into narcissistic rage. Narcissist gets triggered. But when you do all the steps I've already mentioned, because narcissists hate to see you prosper. So if you find time for yourself and she sees you doing well, she will hate that. When she tries to hurt you in so many ways and you're still living good, she hates that and she can't fit into it. You don't talk to people about her, you got no contact, there's nothing. It's like she doesn't exist. A narcissist cannot take that. So when that happens, she will then go out of her way to try to trigger you again. And she usually try to do that in court or any other public setting. So if you are prepared, if you have applied all the stuff I've said to you, if you have done some coaching together, and you're aware of how to deal with triggers, how to overcome the traumas, how to overcome insecurity and self-doubt, she cannot handle it. And if she expends energy trying to trigger you and you don't react, she can't regenerate it. So the only thing she can do is to fly into rage. And if you've seen narcissistic rage, you know what it looks like. So you need to allow her to do that herself in public. Or even if she doesn't do it with you, because you've starved her, she will do it with somebody else. Trust and believe. Excuse me, it's just a matter of time. When you let her expose herself, you are taking your focus off her, which also takes away her energy. So in reality, the real way ultimately to expose the narcissist is to forget about the narcissist. I know it sounds crazy, but what is not crazy about this situation? Everything is crazy about it, right? Before you met her, before you got into this situation, you never thought there was such insanity, there was such demonic behavior, right? It looks like a movie, like an exorcism movie, when you see it happen. So all the steps we've talked about really makes her angry, makes her rage, makes her explode. And she will take it out. Listen, she will take it out on the cops, and there are documented examples of this. She can even take it out on the judge, and I've seen near fights with judges by narcissistic females, which of course hurt their case in the end. The more the father or the husband or the boyfriend evolved, the worse their behavior was, because she would go and say all these bad things about you, and then it turns out you're actually quite a decent guy. Not only that, you are taking care of yourself, you're building up your life, you're building up your business, your career, your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. She cannot handle that. She cannot handle that. So the most important trick is do all these things to let the narcissist expose herself, create those circumstances. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I hope you join me in the next video. I hope you check out my other content. Write to me, tell me what I can do to help you, share your experience, and more importantly, get out there and build a life for yourself that you've never ever had before. And when in doubt, remember, you are the truth. This is John Paul from bravefathers.com. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon.
BraveFathers.com